Okay, this is grade 7, chapter 7-3 and 7-4. We're putting both of them together because once you know how to add mixed numbers, it's the same as subtracting mixed numbers. So it's just dealing with the mixed number. So step 1 is to change the mixed number into an improper fraction. So if we have 1 and 2/7, 1 and 2/7, what we have to do is we have to multiply this first one, because there are 7/7 on this bottom. 1 equals 7/7. So we know that we have 7/7 in this one number. So we multiply by 7 on this way going here. And then we add it to this 2. So 7 times 1 equals 7. 7 plus 2 equals 9. And that's still over 7. So 1 and 2/7 equals 9/7. That's the very first step, is you need to change the mixed number, into an improper fraction. From that improper, so we're going to practice a little bit here. Pause this and do this on yourself. It's really important that you know how to do this so that the rest of the steps don't get really confusing. So pause it now and try this on your own, these 4, and then come back and figure it out. 3 times 3 plus 2. 3 times 3 is 9 plus 2 is 11 over 3. When we multiply, 2 times 1 is 2 plus 1, so we have 3 over 2. When we have 9 times 2, it's 9/18 plus 5, which equals 23 over 9. When we have 4 times 2 plus 3, we get 11 over 4. So I hope you guys got all those correct. If not, start asking friends, start asking me, start asking people that can help you, okay? So step 2, find and change them to a common denominator. So if we have 5 and we have 2 on the bottom, we know that 5, 10, wait a second, 10 can be divisible. So that's the common denominator. Let me see if I change it. Okay, so 14, to get this to a common denominator, 10 times 2 times 2, and that's times 5 times 5. So 14 times 2 is 28 over 10, and then we have plus 3 times 5 is 15 over 10. So that's what we have on the other page here. 28 plus 15 over 10. So 28 over 10 plus 15 over 10. 28 plus 15 is 33, 34 to 43. So 43 over 10. And then 28 minus 15 is the same thing because we have them over like denominators. We just subtract the numbers, so it's 13 over 10 if it's minus or plus, depending on which term we have. So when we have this, we have to convert it back to a proper fraction in lowest terms. So this is where dividing 44 divided by 8 is 0, 5, 40, remainder 4. This remainder 4, it equals 5. So this 5 here is 5. And this remainder 4 up here is what goes up here. That's what's remaining in the fraction. We have 5 full 8s, and we have 4 that have to remain in the fraction. So when we convert it back to a proper fraction, we have to put it in lowest terms, and 4 divided by 4 is 1, and 8 divided by 4 is 2. So 5 1/2 is our answer. So there is a shortcut. If you understand that last one, I would suggest skipping ahead and just doing that if you didn't want any confusion. If you want a little bit of a shortcut, what we can do here is we don't always need to convert it to a proper fraction. So when we're adding, we just add the whole numbers up and then add the fractions using steps from 7.2. So 7.2, we would just convert these to similar fractions. So we times it by 2 for the 1/3. So now we've got 3 plus 1, which equals 4. So 3 plus 1, we just add those whole numbers up. And then we deal with the 2 plus 2, which equals 4. And then, of course, the 6 stays the same. Okay? And then, because it's what we do in math, we put it to a lowest terms, 4 2/3. We only convert the fraction when we do lowest terms. We don't touch the whole number. When we do the shortcut, again, you don't need to know this, but when we do the shortcut, it's the same way, but you have to borrow from the 3. So that's 2. This would be a 9. Now we have 2 minus 1, which is 1, and 2 over 8. And to put 2 over 8 in lowest terms, it equals 1 1/4. So I hope you really understand the very first part, converting them into whole numbers, and then back, improper fractions, and then out of improper fractions. And then if you want to use the shortcut, feel free. So try this on your own. 2/2 plus 4/6. 4 1/6. Pause it, come back to it. So first thing, 2, 2, 4, 6. And then 6 is obviously 6, so we can use 6. So we're going to convert this to 6, which means we have to times this by 3. So we have 2 3/6 plus 4 1/6. So when we do this, we multiply this through. 6 times 2 is 12. Sorry, I use a different color. 6 times 2 is 12, plus 3 equals 15 over 6, plus 6 times 4 plus 1. 6 times 4 is 24, plus 1 is 25 over 6 equals 40 over 6. When we divide 40, sorry, let me erase some of this here. When we divide 40 by 6, we know that it goes in 0 times 6 times 36 with a remainder 4. So we have 6 and 4 over 6, which then leads to, because we need to divide it by 2, both of them, we have 6 2/3. So that's the answer you should have found on your own at home. If you want to try this again, go ahead. I'm going to do this a little bit differently, but this is times and plus, so that's 6 plus, so that's 8 over 3 plus 24, 28 over 6. So it's 28, and then we know that we just need to, because it's 3 and 6, we just times this by 2, which equals 16 over 6 plus 28 over 6 equals 44 over 6, which equals, when 44 is divided by 6, goes in 7 times with a remainder 2, so we have 7 2/6, which equals 7 1/3. I'm going pretty fast on these because, again, you can pause these and just follow along at home. If you have questions, come see me in class, or find whoever's teaching you at the moment and do that. So again, try this on your own at home. This is 24, 27 over 8 minus 3 over 2. Convert this. So we're going to times this by 4, times this by 4. We get 27 over 8 minus 12 over 8 equals 15 over 8, which equals 1 7/8, which is the lowest common denominator. Final question. Again, try this at home. So 4 times 4 plus 3 times 5 is 15 plus that's 17 over 5. This looks like it's going to be a problem because it's going to equal 0, but it's not, because we still have bottom lower numbers. So when we find these common denominators, we go 4, 8, 12, 16, 20. And we know that 20 is the lowest, so we're going to times this by 5. Times that by 5, and times this by 4, and times this by 4. So we have over 20. 85 minus over 20. We have 68 equals 17 over 20. And that's our final answer, because 17 is a prime number. So I hope I went through that pretty quick, but I showed you a lot of examples. If you're still confused, please come see me. Thanks.